Now, live with Greg Olson, Director of the New York State Office for the Aging.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us. My name is Greg Olson. I'm the Director of the New York State Office for Aging. Really excited about our topic and guest today. So everybody has heard the word senior center. We have over 800 of them across the state of New York in various communities, pretty much everywhere. But have you ever heard of a virtual senior center? That's what I'm excited to talk about today. Virtual Senior Center was created in 2010 by some good friends of ours down at Selfhelp Community Services in New York City. And I remember being on the phone when they were talking about this idea and the opportunity to potentially expand it upstate. And Selfhelp is an amazing organization. And I was all in when we had that conversation. Selfhelp Community Services helps socially isolated older adults, this is what the Virtual Senior Center is all about, stay connected to their community. The VSC offers robust programs designed for older adults, managed by social workers who provide intentional engagement. It fosters an inclusive and engaging environment where older adults can connect with one another from wherever they call home. NYSOFA recognized, as I mentioned earlier, the power of this platform, which simulates a senior center experience for individuals who maybe not be able to go anymore. Working with Selfhelp over the years and our community partners, NYSOFA has brought the VSC to older adults through our area agencies on aging, which are county offices for the aging. We're thrilled, really thrilled to see the expansion. It is one of many tech partnerships that we've adopted to build service capacity and extend our reach in engaging older adults, particularly those at risk for social isolation. So today we're going to hear from three amazing people that work at Selfhelp that are part of the VSC development and expansion, and I'm really excited. So for those who are listening, please though pay close attention, because what we're going to be telling you is how you can register for free if you are a New Yorker who's age 60 and over. And we'll be mentioning it later in the program, so you'll have to keep watching to catch it. So let me introduce three amazing people, guests that I'm really proud to call friends as well as partners. First, I want to introduce Russell Lusick. He's the Chief Operating Officer at Selfhelp Community Services. We also have Anna Samito, who's the Business Development Manager for the VSC. And we're waiting for Russ to come in. And we have Hang Liu, who's the Director of Operations at Selfhelp Community Services. There we go. So we're just waiting on, there he is. So welcome, guys. I'm really excited to have you today.
Greg, thank you so much. Your partnership means so much to us, and you're a great friend, colleague throughout the years, and we're excited to be here today. So thank you. Excellent.
So why don't we just start with you, Russ, because sure. I remember, you gave me the elevator pitch, and, when you hear something that you know is going to work and you want to be a part of, which is what you gave to me. What is the elevator pitch? What is the VSC? How does it work? And what benefits are you seeing?
Sure. And again, thanks again, Greg. The Virtual Senior Center, or the VSC as we affectionately call it, is really an incredible online platform. It's truly changing the game for isolated older adults, as you mentioned in your opening. Live interactive virtual classes and activities on an easy-to-use website. We found whether it's art, we produce rather art, fitness, and tech tips, or cultural discussions, or what's available. There truly is something for everyone on the platform. But again, it's not just about the learning. You're going to hear more about this. This is sort of a common theme you're going to hear in all the things we're saying today. What's really important, and I think this is what you touched on too, Greg, it's about the connection with people on the community. The VSC helps older adults stay engaged, and again, to be part of an online community, which is so important, especially for those who might feel isolated and alone. All you need is an internet connection, and you're really plugged into the world of possibilities. We've heard that people have said to us, it's fun, it's easy, and it's a real lifeline for independence and joy. We built this, as you said before, Greg, in 2010, and we've seen time and time again that it truly is a game changer for the populations that we serve.
And Ross, you're so ahead of your time. So I go back to 2010. Doesn't sound like a long time ago. That's 15 years ago. So we've just started adopting tech here in 2019. You foresaw what was happening. People that had come to your center that couldn't come anymore, and you came up with this idea 15, almost 16 years ago, which I think, again, got to give kudos to you and your team for recognizing how important this is. So in what ways is the VSC experience differ from going to a center? Obviously, it's a bricks and mortar. And what ways do you find that it's similar?
Great question, Greg. I think the best thing to do would be to start maybe with the similarities. Just like a traditional senior center, the VSC is truly all about community. And there's that buzzword again, connection and engagement. We offer about 35 live virtual classes each week. And think about it as in terms of art classes and fitness sessions, cultural discussions. And we actually also have health literacy programs to help people with gain a better understanding of their chronic diseases if they exist. And there's much more. That's just a sort of a quick highlight of what we have on the platform. But again, all of them are designed to keep older adults active, learning, and socializing. Again, that connectedness is really important. The heart of it is the same. We are creating a safe space where seniors feel valued, supported, and really truly part of something bigger than the VSC platform. But where it really stands out is in accessibility. So unlike a traditional senior center, the VSC brings all of this right into your home. There's no need to worry about transportation, the weather, or any other mobility challenges you may have. Again, with just an internet connection, you can join live interactive classes really from anywhere. And these aren't pre-recorded videos. These are real-time curated classes where you can ask questions and share ideas and, again, truly connect with others. It's like having a senior center in your living room. So while the traditional senior centers are fantastic for in-person interactions, we operate 5 of them, the VSC opens up a whole new world of possibilities for those who can't attend in person. It's about community and connection wherever you are.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic. And I'm going to take this opportunity to dispel a common myth that older adults don't use tech. They actually use tech at the same rate as everybody else. So if you're out there listening, there's a great opportunity for you for the VSC. I'm familiar, obviously, with Selfhelp. You guys have been around a long time. Your CEO was part of the master plan for aging. But for viewers who aren't in the city or may not know what Selfhelp does or who you are, just briefly, if you could talk about that, that would be great.
Absolutely. Thanks, Greg, for giving us the opportunity to speak about Selfhelp and the good work that we do. We've been around since 1936, and we've always been about one thing. And this is sort of our motto that we train all of our staff coming into the organization during our orientation. It's helping people live with dignity and independence. So for us, it all started with supporting Holocaust survivors in the 30s. And while the legacy is still a big part of who we are, we've grown so much over the past 90 years. Today, we still serve 5,000 survivors, but we also serve over 25,000 New Yorkers annually of all backgrounds, ethnicities, and religions by offering everything from affordable housing, home care, and a wide array of community-based programs. And of course, what we're going to talk about today, the Virtual Senior Center, which we're very, very proud of. What's really special about Selfhelp is how personalized and holistic our approach is. We're not about providing services. What we're really about is meeting people where they are and tailoring support to meet their unique needs. You know, whether it's building more affordable housing, providing in-home care for people who stay at home as they get older, or creating innovative solutions like the VSC to combat social isolation, we're always thinking big, and we're always leading with compassion. Those are 2 big things that are core to our brand. And yes, we're proud to have worked closely with NYSOFA and other partners to make the real impact. You know, as you mentioned, Stuart Kaplan, our CEO, was part of the Master Plan on Aging's Stakeholder Advisory Committee, which is just one example of how we're committed to shaping the future of aging services in New York State. For us, it's all about creating healthier, more, and there it is again, connected communities for our older adults.
Yeah, and what you've been able to do, and I wasn't planning on raising this, but you tweaked something in my head, so I'm going to raise it.
Sure.
You guys were part of a couple really important community-based organizations back when we had the Balance Incentive Payment Program that you took older adult services, comprehensive, the way that you're talking about, and wrapped them around individuals on Medicaid. And what you guys were able to show is a 5-to-1 return on investment. You were able to reduce significantly costs. I know that's something we're all interested in, but it really shows what I'm trying to get at here is it really shows the value of organizations like yours, the work that we do, the partnerships that we have, because it's all about the customer. It's about non-siloing, trying to provide something comprehensive so that people don't fall through the cracks. I kind of mentioned this, but I want to hear it from your perspective. What made you decide back in 2010, it probably started a little bit earlier than that, right? To go down this route to create the VSC?
Sure. And I just want to thank you for the shout out on those balance incentive programs. They were great programs. In fact, Hong, who's on the call, led one of those balance incentive programs. It was our care transitions program. And yeah, there were great programs, great partnerships, and great outcomes during that time period. But great question. The VSC, where did it come from? Well, it comes from listening to people we serve. And in our affordable housing, in our senior center, we created a tech ambassador group who became pioneers in testing new innovative technologies for seniors. The VSC was developed in partnership with this group. We listened to them. They helped curate the content, if you will, what they'd want to see on a platform. And then, of course, the interface was designed by them. So it really is geared towards the senior population is what I'm trying to get at here. We've always been focused on helping older adults live with independence and dignity. And we saw early on how social isolation was becoming a huge issue with our communities. In fact, we saw members of our 5 senior centers who could no longer attend because they had a fall, had some surgery. They may have aged out of the senior center. They were no longer able to get there. And it kept them at home for months at a time, or in some instances, indefinitely. So we saw clients who needed mobility assistance and couldn't get out as often as they wanted. And so we wanted to create something that could bring the connection, engagement, and sense of community you found at a traditional senior center right into the living rooms. And that's how the VSC was born. As you saw the impact it was having almost immediately, how it was helping people feel less lonely and was giving them something fun to do each day. We realized that it just wasn't about the solution for Selfhelp's community. The need for connection and engagement is universal. The VSC could make a difference for older adults really anywhere. This became especially true during the pandemic when everyone was stuck at home. And Greg, that's when you and I reconnected, because you saw the need to have your senior centers connected to their clients. With grant funding received from the New York State Home Care Association through Mother Cabrini, the New York Community Trust, as well as a grant from locally from the UGA Hellbrun Fund, we were able to enhance the VSC, which allowed us to grow with your senior centers statewide where we are today, which is fantastic. And Greg, again, with your support, we've been able to think bigger, much bigger than we could even think possible. And now we can welcome any adult 60 and older from across New York State into the VSC community. So no matter where someone lives, the VSC is always an option for them. And it's been incredible to see how something that started so locally has grown so much here in New York State. It's
amazing. I remember I was in the parking lot of the Gideon Putnam in Saratoga when you called. I remember that like it was yesterday.
I know.
Anna, Hong, thanks so much for bearing with us. Let's dive a little bit deeper. And thanks so much, Russ. I appreciate you, appreciate Selfhelp, and this is just fantastic. So let's get into some of the basics of the platform. How many classes are available, for example? Can you give me an example of some of the key topic areas?
Of course. So the VSC offers a ton of variety of classes. There's almost 100 live classes. They're interactive and they're hosted every single week, including weekends and holidays. Some of those classes, as Russ mentioned earlier, we have about 35 that are actually hosted in person in the senior centers and then essentially broadcast to those participants that are at home. So what that means is that it's a hybrid program. Those folks who are at home get to interact and participate in classes that are happening in the senior center as well, which, as Russ mentioned before, we are trying to bring the senior center to those that are at home who can't get to in-person programming. As for topics, we really cover the gamut. You've got fitness classes like Zumba, yoga, Tai Chi to keep folks moving and relaxed, to art and music programs for those who want to get creative. We have partnerships with different organizations throughout New York City, such as Juilliard. So at times we'll get Juilliard students who will come and perform a mini concert for our participants. And we have tech classes because, to your point earlier, Greg, older adults, they want to learn more, especially when it comes to tech. And so our tech classes are really our most popular ones, second only to the fitness classes. And so our folks get a chance to learn about their phones. They get to learn about the different types of social apps that are out there. And more importantly, they get to learn about how to avoid scams, which is always a hot topic within our community. We also dive into cultural discussions, history lessons, cooking demonstrations to help keep our older adults healthy. And my personal favorite is the live walking tours. And with those, it's a live tour that's happening in some foreign city in the world. And that really gives our participants a place to really be travelers, but from the comfort of their home. So there's plenty of ways for our folks to stay connected to the outside world.
Yeah, and you said something, again, just tweak something in my head. When I had originally thought about these platforms, I would think that why people would want to get on them outside of the connection, right, would be hobbies, but that is not the case. Year in and year out, the top classes are all health and wellness classes. And so as I was thinking about that, it dawned on me, of course they are, because we all want to take care of ourselves. We all want to try to, get stronger, be healthier, make sure that we're living independently. And your data shows that. And, at some point we're going to do this again. We'll go through the data, because you guys don't just provide this, you measure it. And the outcomes data is incredible. Tell me about non-English, or are there things that are in other languages?
Yes, we offer classes in many different languages because we know how important it is for people to feel comfortable and connected. And language plays a really big role in that. By offering those programs in different languages, we're able to reach a more diverse group of older adults and make sure everyone feels included. The entire VSC platform itself, it is easily translated into 8 different languages. So we have English, Mandarin, Russian, Korean, Arabic, Hebrew, Vietnamese, and Spanish. Say that 10 times fast. We also have weekly classes in English, Mandarin, Korean, and Russian, with more classes in other languages as well.
That's awesome. One of my staff had, and I think that's one of the benefits of partnering with folks like you in the city, because making sure there's access to other than English has always been a priority because of the demographics of the city. But one of my staff had given me the top 5 languages for people under 60 and over 60 in every county. And I was shocked. And so, again, I think the language question is so important, because many of the languages you just talked about are spoken all over New York State. And that's going to be really beneficial. So we talked a little bit earlier about, how do people access the platform? So there's the question. How do people access or join if they want to try this out?
So thanks to a grant from NYSOFA that we really appreciate, adults age 60 and older across New York State can actually join the Virtual Senior Center for free. There's a couple of different ways they can do that. If they want a little bit of help, they can go to their local AAA, who will help them get signed up. The other way is they can use a special code that they should see soon flashing across the screen. Please use this code when you register online. Look in the chat for more information about how to use it. If you prefer, you can always register for free by calling the VSC directly at 718-559-4370, and one of our friendly IT team will get you signed up with an account and show you how to log in and join your first class. I want to say you don't need any fancy equipment, just a computer, laptop, tablet, or smartphone. And if you ever need help for any reason, we've got a friendly IT team member to help you. Once you're signed up, you'll get full access of the full live classes. And since we likely have some county office for the aging directors who are watching today as well, and other organizations tuning into the live stream, I'll mention that all you need is to tell your members about the VSC and we can get them signed up. They'll have free access to our platform and access to our IT team members who can help them in signing up.
Excellent. I think Alex is having trouble pulling the code up, but we'll keep on trying. One of the things I love about, I know Selfhelp's history and what Selfhelp does. This is a product and a platform, a tech platform you guys have developed. But what I have learned since 2019 and working with, over 30 tech partners is how eager, where it makes sense to cross-pollinate, right? And that is, I think, one of the things that I've been thrilled with the most. So we don't have like all these independent projects. We have things that can build upon each other. And your platform does that as well. It includes some of our other partners like Zinnia TV, Memory Lane TV. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. We realize that each person on the VSC has unique needs, and over the years, we've added specialized classes and recordings to meet those needs. We also have caregivers who are using the platform, whether it be for themselves or as an assistive use in their caregiving to their older adult. So Zinnia TV, for example, offers calming and interactive videos tailored for someone who may be experiencing cognitive challenges such as dementia. It's a wonderful resource for creating moments of connection and relaxation. And then Memory Lane TV, on the other hand, focuses on reminiscence therapy. So using nostalgic and meaningful content to spark memories and conversations. Since we're focused on improving mental health, emotional health, and social well-being, these classes create a well-rounded experience for our members.
That's outstanding. And, we already kind of addressed just the growth, where you guys started and where you are. And like I said, hopefully after today and the next couple of weeks, as people, see this recording, it will continue to grow. And it's one thing for me to talk about it. It's one thing for you guys to talk about it. But who the best spokesman is somebody who's actually a customer. So let's check this out.
The Virtual Senior Center is truly a godsend. Before this computer, for me, my husband was a computer person. I never touched the computer. I picked it up very quickly. It really is wonderful. It's opened doors for me. The Virtual Senior Center is this computer with classes. You look at your menu and you see what's being offered for the day. And so I'll join the music class with a wonderful facilitator in music, or taking a trip to a museum, or going through the botanical gardens virtually. During the pandemic, nobody was going anywhere. And here I was, and I was able to go to a museum. It just opens doors. It's a vista. I made a new friend, Deborah. We talk on the phone, and we've sent letters to one another, birthday cards and greetings and things like that. And we always say, one of these days we'll really get together, and that would be nice. I use the Virtual Senior Center every day. That's one of the first things I do. I find it very comforting. For instance, on a day where I can't get out or I can't go anywhere, I say, oh, gee whiz, I have these 3 things I can do this afternoon or during the day. It's something to look forward to. I've enjoyed it, and I've made the most use of it.
That's a great testimonial. We're going to go back at some point and show how people can register, because we want to make sure, again, people can try this out and have access to it. But, nothing worthwhile is doing without partners. We have to have partnerships, a variety of different ones. And you guys have really partnered. And it's, one of the things that I love about this is the baseline of how you build out content, some of the partner organizations that you've worked with. Tell us a little bit about some of those partnerships and what these partnerships have yielded in terms of the development of content.
Absolutely. I jump in here. So Anna already touched on some of the great content we have. Our partnership are truly world class, and they let us offer something for everyone. On the arts and culture side, Anna mentioned this earlier. Members can take virtual travel tours with Wasitude, enjoy Broadway spotlights, and connect with leading institutions like the New York Historical, the Intrepid Museum, the Guggenheim, the Noguchi Museum, the museum at Eldridge Street, and even the Juilliard School. And for learning and enrichment, we work with partners like 92nd Street Y, the New York Public Library, to keep curiosity alive and minds engaged. When it comes to health and wellness, we have wonderful partners like New York Presbyterian Queens, the Alzheimer's Association help us deliver trusted programs that support older connection. Groups like Lifespan of Rochester bring creative sessions like their scam prevention games, and the musicians on call shares the healing power of music. Together, these partners bring the world to our members' fingertips, whether it's culture, learning, health and wellness, or just joy.
Yeah, and I love, well, you mentioned Lifespan, so now I have to say something, right? So, me too, and it wasn't called that then. It was the Regional Council on Aging. But I think the point that I wanted to make is you guys have always offered. So you talk about your partners in the city, but you've always offered partners elsewhere to develop local content so they feel close to their communities as well. So I just wanted to point that out because I love that. That was one of the initial selling points. Not that I needed to be sold by Ross. He had done it. Part of it, though, to me is important. We know the value of the things that we do. We do. But measuring stuff is really, really important to show its efficacy. And then hopefully if I'm doing my job to help grow these things over time. And you guys are masters at that. What are some of the things that you measure? And I know that Alex had put a banner on the bottom with some of the data, but walk through that because this is unbelievably meaningful and you can measure it.
Absolutely. That's such an important question and a priority we share. At Selfhelp, we often talk about balancing head and heart. What that means to us is providing the highest quality care to our team, what's working and where we could improve. It's all part of our commitment to delivering a VSC that's both compassionate and effective. We track how many people are signing up, how often they are attending our sessions, and what types of programs. Our members complete a short survey rating the facilitator, the topic, and even the audio and video quality with a space for written comments. These insights actually help us fine-tune the experience and understand what truly resonates with our members. Beyond the numbers, we also focus on the outcomes that really matter. Fully survey participants to see how the VSC is impacting their lives. Are they feeling more connected, more engaged, and more supported? Members tell us that they feel less lonely, more active, and more confident when you highlight. I think it was on the screen, but I just repeated it. 80% of our members report reduced loneliness. 60% noted increase in social connectedness. 51% self-report an increase in health well-being. 90% VSC improves the quality of their life. Each year, we host over 5,000 live classes with a team of more than 250 live instructors. What's great is that the class size are also designed to foster real interaction and connection. A typical class ranges around 10 to 15 people, making it super comfortable to ask questions and make friends and share your thoughts with the facilitator and other members. In the end of the day, success for us isn't just about numbers. It's also about the stories we hear directly from the participants or their caregiver who say the VSC has truly changed their lives. That's what keeps us
the
going.
data is impressive. I mean, it is what it is. Now, I know that, we're talking a lot about social isolation, loneliness. We know what the impact is on healthcare spending, mortality, and so on and so forth. One of the things you guys are interested in is trying to measure the impact of the VSC on older adults in rural areas, watching this on how they can participate.
Yeah, love that opportunity. This recent research brought some incredible insights to light. We just completed the phase 1 of the research, but there's still time to join. This research led by Dr. Ring Lee at Yeshiva University, if the VSC will reduce social isolation and improve older adults' mental health with a focus on the impact on underserved community and those with physical limitation. We are also looking to compare the impact on the older adults in both urban and rural area, and just to see, what are the similarities, what are the differences. Participants, as I mentioned, we completed the phase 1 of this research, and we already have some very exciting, insights to share. Participants found that the class provided set the calendar every day and find something that interests her to join, helping them maintain daily routines, which many said improved their mood, motivation, and overall sense of purpose. Beyond the classes themselves, the VSC foster meaningful connections with many participants, forming friendship that extended beyond the virtual space through phone calls, video chat, which is another feature we have on the platform, and even occasional in-person meetings when weather and location permit. Marilyn mentioned, she's looking forward to meeting her friend Deborah, who she has actually made that happen. We have a few members making plan, to go on a cruise trip. I believe next year, there are amazing stories, happening every day. They celebrate birthday with each other. They do the New Year countdown with each other. It's truly amazing to see the connection. The key takeaway was the praise for instructors whose patience, engagement, and encouragement were instrumental in promoting consistent attendance. However, we don't hear just the good news, but we also hear some challenges. While a few participants initially struggle with digital literacy or setting up their device, the support from staff helped them overcome these barriers. And caregivers actually also play a crucial role in this learning curve. Additionally, some expressed interest in seeing more information-heavy sessions, particularly on health-related topics, even though we have, as Anna mentioned, we have tons of wellness and exercise programs. They're super popular, but they're always looking for more. That's why, as for our, next step, we are looking to expand our evidence-based program, such as Ontago program, which is a fall prevention exercise program, to meet those needs. Overall, participants saw the VSC as a welcoming and inclusive space that successfully create a sense of belongings and tackle the challenge of social isolation.
Did you say Vivo for the strength training program?
We actually no, but
No,
we
yeah,
actually
I just wasn't sure if
we were in touch with them. But like we're always looking, like to add more evidence-based program. I think probably Ontago, which is a for prevention
Gotcha.
evidence-based program.
Okay. No, I misheard. My bad.
It's okay.
Well, for any of you guys, what's next? What's next for the VSC?
Great question. Greg, just to go back and we have about 2,500 people on the platform currently, and we're looking to grow. And obviously, because we believe the work we're doing is just really great. And it's again, I opened up in my Q&A with you with the connectedness piece and impact on quality of life and connectedness is so important. And just one statistic that just resonates with me is that 97% say that the VSC improved their quality of life. And you heard that in the video we saw of one of our clients earlier on in this podcast. But next step, Greg, is a great question. The VSC is a community that's really dedicated towards the senior population, but because of our expertise in building online content that's curated, Hong is a social worker, so she and the team curate this content so that it's very specifically tailored for the senior population. The other populations we're looking at, and we're working with you, Greg, is building out more for the veterans that are in New York State. We strongly believe that we have been we've been trauma trained here at Selfhelp, given the populations we've served in the Holocaust, and we believe we can really provide some really good content for the veterans populations here in New York State. And we're not done. I mean, for the VSC side of it, there's so much more we can do and grow. And with the support of you, Greg, and the AAAs, the older adult centers across New York State, we really want to build more local content and get people connected to things that are happening in Buffalo, and like we're getting connected to New York City. There's so much more we can do. And Greg, as you know, you've been a leader in the nation for technology, at least from my perch and what I've seen about you. There are other states now that are sort of jumping onto this and looking to grow the VSC statewide. Like, for example, Connecticut is starting up. So anytime we can get now states together and connect on the virtual senior center would be a great thing for us too. So
that's fantastic. So I know that Sue Sizdek is listening, so we're going to put that on her list. Is to get more local content upstate, and glad to hear that. I mean, very fortunate. Our association director, Becky Prevey, and I present all over the country. We always talk about the VSC, many of our other partnerships. So, we'll continue to help in any way that we can. I think this platform obviously speaks for itself. And growth is great, and I'll continue to support you in any way. And hopefully we can continue to grow it, even in these difficult financial environments. So before we get to the Q&A, there's probably a good chance you're watching this program on YouTube. Last year, our channel had 2.2 million views and 252,000 watch hours. Check out this promo. Don't forget to like us and share us with your friends.
Hi, I'm Molly Ryan, and I'm a communications intern for the New York State Office for the Aging. I am so happy to be on board with this agency, and I'm for sure learning a lot. I have recently learned about the agency's YouTube channel, which has so many resources for older adults and their caregivers. There's a reason they have millions of views. Like and subscribe today.
Thank you, Molly. Okay, here's our first question. Is there an age minimum for someone to use the VSC?
I take that question, if Russ and Ada don't mind. The VSC is really designed specifically for older adults age 60 and above. And when I say up, I mean all the way up. We've had participants well into their 90s and even 100s joining in. It's really about creating a space where older adults, no matter how old they are, can stay active, engaged, and connected. So whether you are 60, 70, or 100 plus, there is a space for you.
Excellent.
And Greg, if I may, just
Of course.
whoever asked that question, if you go to our website and ask the question through our website, there are other opportunities we can develop other content that's curated for a younger demographic. But again, send us something, via email through the website, and we'll get back to you on that.
Oh, that's great. For people who have a talent, I'm going to say a lot of people have talents to share. How do they go about getting authorized to lead a class on the VSC? Love that.
Oh, that would be great, because we're always looking for volunteers from all different backgrounds and diverse talents to come and bring their diversity of experiences to our community. So we accept volunteers 18 plus from across the United States. And of course, all of the volunteering is virtual. So to sign up, it's pretty straightforward. First, you'll go to our website and fill out a brief interest form. From there, we'll set up a phone call, video chat to get to know you a little bit better and learn about your expertise and give you an opportunity to ask any questions that you may have. And then we'll provide you with training to help you feel confident and make sure that you feel comfortable leading a class virtually, but that you also feel comfortable in terms of our population. And we want to make sure that you understand just the dynamics of the classroom, because it is virtual. So that could be a little new for everyone. And we'll even help with any tech setup questions that they may need. And what we do before anyone leaves their first class, you'll have the chance to attend a session or two, so that way you get an understanding of the feeling for the virtual classroom, just to make sure people are comfortable. I'd encourage anyone that's interested in volunteering to lead a session to check out Selfhelp Community Services YouTube channel. There we have some testimonials from our instructors, so you'll get to learn just how rewarding leading these classes are for our older adults.
Yeah, it's also going to be beneficial for those who are leading it, right? So there's benefits everywhere. Ross, Anna, Hong, I cannot thank you enough for being with us today. The vision that Selfhelp and the entire team has had since 2010. You guys are an amazing organization. To watch the growth and all the changes to improve the platform. I just want to thank you, because you know how important this is, and you guys are making a huge difference both in person and through this platform. So can't thank you enough for joining me today, and we'll continue to get the word out. So we're going to close the show today. Our next show is going to be with our friends again at the New York State Office of Cannabis Management and Cannabis Doctors of New York, because I believe October is Croptober. So we'll see you in a couple of weeks. And again, I want to thank everybody at Selfhelp for, not only who's on the show today, but back in the city for creating this amazing platform. Thanks a lot. We'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Live with Greg is a production of the New York State Office for the Aging Communications Bureau. Please join us next time.